Hey guys, good evening everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is Miss Jaydee once again for our Sunday episode of our daily stock market insights. Today is April 2nd of 2023, and I already have a few stocks on my list because some of you guys have already requested these stocks. So I highly encourage the rest who are just watching this for the very first time. You are very welcome in this channel. Feel free to drop a comment. Let me know which stock you'd like me to review so I can prioritize that in my reviews every single day. All right. So the stocks I'd be prioritizing in this episode would be Dito, LTG, MBT, and CHIB, CHIB. Okay, and let's start. I was able to review the index from yesterday's video, so feel free to open that one so you already have an idea on what my views are towards the index. All right, so let's start with Dito. Okay, so for Dito, first thing I've noticed is that, very small amount of foreign buying that's already starting to engage in this stock. At the same time, volume is very, very small right here. So I would have to say we are already sitting at the support area for Dito. And I would have to say that the selling sentiment is already starting to die down. So we could experience some sideways movement. If not, the moment you see, okay, so let us say we are going to be moving in this range, not significant, no significant candlesticks. But the moment your volume starts to pick up, that is something you have to take notice of. Okay, because the moment it starts to pick up, chances are there will be a continuation to the upside. Buying sentiment is starting to form at this point. So if I'm to look back at how it happened in the past, so let's try to focus on these days in December of 2022. Stayed flat right here, but it started to pick up on this day with some nice volume over here. So there was a continuation to the upside. But of course, you have to also take note that there will be a resistance that you have to consider. So if you are into swing or position trading, so you enter at a support, then take profit at a resistance area. So in this case, that rally only lasted for a few days, stayed flat right there, and actually the rest would be a certain range. It moved in a particular range. But in this case, like 4 to 5 days of rally, that was already worth 24.5% gain if you entered right at the 2.82. So the same kind of observation that I would have to say for this particular formation. Take note of this movement. This could be an accumulation phase for our investors, and wait for that nice volume, perhaps a nice engulfing candlestick paired with a right volume. That's the time you start accumulating so that you don't have to wait that long. But with regards to fundamentals, I highly encourage you guys to also take note of the news, go to PSE Edge, understand the financials of the company. I know there are a lot of comments about the company that this company has so much debt, right? So same, I think I've mentioned this multiple times in my videos in the past about Dito. So the company is just starting to build their brand, and conservatively around 3 to 5 years would you will start to notice uh, gains coming in because a lot of their capital were really from loan or debt. So that's the reason why this stock is really having a difficult time accelerating. So those are my thoughts. Study the fundamentals, but what I am prioritizing in my reviews here are mostly on the technical side. So those are my thoughts on Dito. Let's take a look at our next would be LTG. LTG personally, well, Dito, I also have Dito. I also have LTG. LTG is one of the stocks in my portfolio at the moment. Well, this stock is really good for long term. So at any time this drops, find the support and then add more, right? So at this point, it is still on a bearish sentiment or it's in a correction phase, meaning we have already moved up, nice rally to the upside for several months, right? That was a good 18 to 20% gain. And people are already, they're just taking profit. At the same time, there was a dividend. So probably those people who have participated in a dividend, they have locked in their gains. Probably at this point, they're just waiting for another possible entry for this stock. So is it going up or going down? So that's the big question. At this point, my thoughts would be there's a big chance that there will be a continuation of profit taking. We could still be moving downwards. So the next support I am looking at would be around the 9.40-ish area. So wait for it. I know you can still get this at a much cheaper level. So the reason why I plotted it there is because you used to have a resistance at that area. So if you also want to understand, you want to remove the noise, go ahead and put it on a weekly chart. See that used to be a resistance, 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 and we are just somewhere at the MA20 line. Sometimes it goes overshoot, slightly below the MA20 line. Um, but that is the key level I am closely looking at to add more. But looking at in terms of risk to reward ratio, your risk is, very small risk right here, and you have good potential for the stock to move even higher. So look at it for long-term purposes. LTG is really good for long term because it does give out very nice dividend. I think more than 10% if you're entering at this level right now. On average, year on year, their dividend yield is more than 10%. Okay, so just do your math right there. They give out their dividend every quarter. So 9.46, next area to possibly enter there. MBT, well, I used to have MBT, took profit, and well, at this point right now, just looking for that perfect entry again. So at this point on a daily chart, well, wait lang, tapos na pala to. Dividend, they also have, they give out the regular dividend as well. But at this point, I would have to say we had a nice rally for the past how many months, right? Since the October to Feb. Okay, and then come Feb, the stock had a difficult time really moving up. So each time this level gets hit, profit taking. So that should have been your sign that, hey, it looks like this stock is already having a difficult time to move further upwards. So you could have taken profit right there, which I did. I think I got out around 58, 59. I was not able to maximize up to the top, which is so hard to predict. Now, we are on a decline, pretty much the same as how LTG formed. People have already gained right here and are taking profit. So it's just the normal cycle. Nothing is wrong with MBT. In fact, the moment it drops, that could be your opportunity to buy more. So at this point, I would have to say we are at the resistance area. So we are following this downtrend channel at the moment. So each time uh, it's very near your uh, MA20 line. So MA20 is currently your resistance level. So if it drops, it might create lower low. So it created a lower high, creates a lower low. So those are the key elements of a downtrend. So chances are it might go back to the 53.68 area. See, there you go. So for those people who are just starting their journey in the stock market, make it a habit. Even if you're not trading, make it a habit to always study the chart, look at the chart every single day, so that it creates that muscle memory. By mere look of a chart, you can right away see the trend or the behavior of your stock. So that's the reason why I can easily plot support resistance, because for several years now, since 2017 or 2018. That's when I started investing in the stock market every single day. So if you will also notice that in my videos, there will be some days that I have not recorded, but ever since. It has been a habit of mine to always study the chart. In fact, I do this like right now. I do this in the evening, then let the market do its thing the following day. And then after the market, I go back to this video. I listen to myself and, you know, um, understand how I thought about that particular stock. I appreciate the thought process. So I could be wrong, I could be right, but through the years, the accuracy rate is improving. That is because I'm doing this every single day. So do the same, right? Even if you don't trade, you don't take action for any particular day, just study. Okay, so that is for MBT. This is currently your resistance, so chances are it will um, still decline. So, well, sometimes it does break out, but there could be other triggers for that. Maybe a news or a catalyst would um, be your reason why it would break out that channel. But at this point, no big news. Last news was 11 days ago. So yeah, so imagine this. This was slightly moving up, but your volume is just so flat right there. So abangan natin sa 54, baka may good ano tayo dyan. Catalyst. China Bank, CHIB. Uh, Interesting, right here. You have ito magandang formation. While price is moving up right there, your volume is also moving up, and then extra large volume last Friday. So abangan mo guys, abangan natin ito. Baka lang, okay, just in case, pwede itong candidate for breakout. Kasi bakit naman magkakaroon ng that much of a volume? May foreign buying ka. And even though we are at a resistance level, the sentiment started to form right there for the past how many days. So, possible, okay? Posibleng i-challenge pa ulit niya and then mag-breakdown. But the moment you have one candlestick above the 32 area, and then volume is still there, that for me is already a good candidate for a breakout play. This is challenge. Para siyang nagkakaroon ng flag pattern eh. I just forgot the term for this kind of pattern is a bullish one. Kasi dito siya sa nag-accumulate siya sa resistance area and then volume is already here in this level. Okay, kita mo volume dito compared dito. So that means closely monitor, put this in your watch list, good candidate for a breakout play. All right, what else? So I think I can add one more to make it five. Let's see. Sino kaya yung medyo for, tingnan natin dito. ARIET. Okay, si ARIET. Let's go to the weekly chart. Okay. Ito, baka lang balikan si 30.91 on a weekly chart. This is your support. But if you feel that the stock is already at a cheap level because anyway you're a long-term investor, so what is 2 peso difference, right? Um, Anywhere between 30 to 32 if you're a long-term investor, good to already start accumulating. Volume is already starting to, well, hopefully, it's picking up because they're starting to see that this is already at a cheaper level possible, right? But just in case, akit natin dyan. Sa daily chart nandito siya. Sa, yeah, in case it drops further down, I feel that this 30.98 or 31 level, strong support siya. Because look at that. It took a long time to create this strong base right here, and it might revisit that in case lang, pero I don't think it will break that because sobrang mura na niya. So if you are into REIT, this is Ayala REIT, really good. So if you don't want to invest, you want to invest, let's say, in a real estate, but don't want to buy a real property and you want to save yourself from the hassle of managing a property, REIT could be your next best route because the company or all REITs are obliged to give out or release 90% of the revenue as a form of dividend. So, para ka lang ding may business ng real estate. So, every quarter this gives out a dividend. So, around 4 or 5%, just try to compute that 0.44 times 4, around the 4 point something, 4%, 4, 5. Ganun siya. Okay? So, yeah, put this in your watch list and I highly encourage to look at it for long term. Invest in it for long term. Uh, Safer because you get compensated while waiting. All right? Yon. So that's it for this episode's stock market analysis. I have just reviewed DITO, LTG, MBT, China Bank, CHIB, and ARIET. So feel free to drop a comment, guys. Let me know your thoughts. If you know anything that I have not mentioned about these stocks, please share so we can also learn from you. In the meantime, thank you and bye bye for now.